So, did you know there's a fundamental step that you cannot bypass during your healing journey? It's actually really, really important. And I feel like most of the time, human beings, our body are just wired in a way to bypass this step because it's a survival mechanism. Sometimes it's just way too painful for you to process that. But if you get there, you can do it slowly, and it is really the fundamental key step to go further in your healing journey, and it is the shadow work. Before I talk about shadow work in a more intense or in a more deep way, I think I want to use the term your discomfort or your pain. So I think one way to start with this healing process of going deeper with the shadow work is just simply learning to sit with your pain. A lot of people tend to be on a go, go, go mindset. I'm sure you know people that are like that. They're distracting themselves. They could either be workaholic, just working nonstop, or not giving themselves a break, and always needing stimulation. It could be social media, going on social media whenever you feel bored. It could be consuming a lot of drugs, alcohol, and basically just never having a time for yourself to sit with yourself and feel what your body is feeling. I want to introduce you to what is called the shadow self. The shadow self, I want to say it's mostly the one responsible, the main actor acting behind your discomfort, your pain. The shadow is actually much more powerful than you think. It is dictating and controlling your life somehow negatively without you knowing it. The way to deal with the shadows is to first pay attention to it by slowing down, listening to your body. And once you start feeling your discomfort, it can be uncomfortable going deeper in there, sometimes even scary. But there are definitely ways for you to go in there slowly, and I'm going to tell you all the things you need to know to be able to do shadow work the more effectively possible. So before I talk more about shadows, actually, what is the shadow really? So the shadow self is actually a term used by a psychologist and theorist Carl Jung, who is really popular and known for his approach for analytical psychology. Simply put, the shadow self are parts of yourself that you have rejected because you think they are unacceptable. They are mostly faulty beliefs that you have constructed because they come from external source that you have internalized when you were a little child. And so the best way to deal with those shadow parts of yourself is to slowly deconstruct those beliefs. And first, to just be aware of them, it's hard. So paying attention to your body is the first step. And this is a way to cast light on the shadows. If you think about it, if you put a light on the shadow is not going to remain a shadow anymore. Somehow it is going to transform. Once you have this more sensitive, you have developed this more sensitive side of yourself of feeling your body, you can start journaling. Actually, I have a video on journaling, and it is really helpful. Journaling helps you to be in touch with your emotion, align with what you're feeling, and you can journal to work with your shadow. You have to try to understand what you're feeling and what is causing you discomfort. And honestly, writing is much more powerful than you think. You would think that, oh, I don't have much to write, but if you try and actually try to just write down 2 sentences, you're going to end up writing 2 pages sometimes. So for example, you could journal about a feeling, about sadness. Sadness seems to be a simple feeling, but if you write more about it, there's actually a lot hidden behind this single feeling of sadness. You can write about a situation that you have experienced and that made you sad, and you try to explain why. Why did that make me sad? It could be because in this situation you realized that you needed care, attention, presence, love, and nurturing, but there was no one there to give you that. And so your shadow side will start to justify why it's so with faulty beliefs, and you're going to start thinking that because no one wants to give you this presence and nurturing and attention, because you're somehow unlovable or flawed. These are thoughts, these are the shadows that are creeping into your mind. And so that's a way for you, when you journal, these are little clues and cues that could help you identify those negative thoughts that you have about yourself. And once you are getting familiar with those thoughts, those beliefs, those faulty beliefs. I want to really emphasize on the fact that these are faulty beliefs, because if you think about it, they're not the truth. They come from as I told you earlier, they come from an external source, and you have, as a little child, you didn't have the rational mind to actually understand why that happened, and the only way for you to justify it would be because you are somehow flawed or there's a problem with you. But this is a belief that you hold when you were a little child, not able to rationalize. And now as a grown-up adult, you have to deconstruct those beliefs that you have held inside you for such a long time. Another way to do shadow work that I think it's one of the most effective way is actually reflecting on your projections. So I want you to practice catching yourself in moments where you start having judgmental thoughts about someone's personality or characteristic. And most of the time I want to tell you that you are criticizing this person because they actually mirror a part of yourself that you have rejected. I know it sounds crazy, but this is how the mind works. And so when you catch yourself having judgmental thoughts about this person, you can try to think about it. What do I not like about this person? And then reflect, how do I resemble this person? This is a way to do shadow work, and it is really effective. You're going to be able to uncover your shadows just by reflecting on your projections. The reason why you're being judgmental about these things is because there are parts of you that you don't accept. You think they're unacceptable. You think they're unlovable. You think that they don't belong to exist. Now that you're in touch with all those shadow parts of yourself, this is the final, most crucial and fundamental step to heal from your shadow. The final step is to integrate and accept your shadows. And this step is honestly the life changer part, because in order to do that, you need to have a lot of introspection, self-compassion, and acceptance. Those are main things that you would need in order to integrate your shadow. You are resolving your shadow by showing it love. You're accepting your shadows, and you rationalize where these shadows come from. Why do these characteristics belongs to me? And to understand that they are not unacceptable because they come from an innocent place. They're not necessarily ill its intention. Let's say this person is really selfish and you judge this person for it. While it actually mirrors that you are yourself a selfish person. But is that really unacceptable? Why are you selfish? Well, it can come from really far, and usually they are not things that you're born with. You develop yourself towards that way because you had to survive somehow. And if you show yourself a bit more love, more compassion, you will slowly start to accept these parts of you and maybe even change them if you would like to. So that is, I think, the crucial way to resolve your shadows. You're actually freeing yourself and liberating yourself from those thoughts, those faulty beliefs that has been controlling you and providing you so much pain and hurting you. I invite you to be really gentle with yourself, have a lot of compassion for yourself, and just come from a place of love and acceptance. And you're going to see that your soul is going to thank you for that. It's going to feel so grateful towards you, and you're going to be able to experience and live with more self-love and give more love in return. By accepting yourself more, you're going to be able to accept others more. By loving yourself more, you're going to be able to love other people more. There won't be any more projections in the way because you've understood them. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful, and if you liked it, please like this video, leave me a comment, and subscribe to this channel for more content like these. I just want you all to feel empowered, have faith, and also encourage you in your healing journey, because I know it's not easy. And we are all in this together. We are all here to heal, to learn to live, to love, and just enjoy the life that we have. And yeah, thank you.